This is the Viktor Wilt Show. I'm actually doing a little bit better than I would have expected for the day after the time change. Guess I got myself to sleep at a reasonable enough time. I don't feel any worse than I usually do on a Monday morning, so that's cute, Not too bad. Ugh, but it is still early. I mean, I only just barely got rolling. So anyway, I hope you're doing all right as well. And let's just dive into whatever kind of crap I can find to start the show here. What hobby or interest is full of jerks? I try to encourage everybody to find some kind of hobby, something fun they can do with their time, because, especially during the winter months around here, people get a little bit stir crazy. Usually about February, everyone's losing their minds. You get that first burst of sunshine in March. All of a sudden, everybody's all jacked up. I mean, I feel it as well. You get those sunny days, it's like, oh, there's hope. There's hope. So, a hobby during the winter months is definitely a good idea, but you don't want to get one going on that, you have to work with other people, that they're going to be a bunch of turds. Now, I don't know if these hobbies or interests are actually full of jerks. This is just responses from the internet, so don't blame me. I'm just reading crap off of the internet, okay? All right, poker. I guess if you're really into playing poker. According to this person who used to work in a casino, 9 out of 10 D-bags. Jeez. I mean, I could imagine you got money on the table. It's a game where lying is part of the game. I could see that attracting certain types. I've never played poker in a casino because I don't gamble at the casino. I'm a big loser. There you go, Peaches. There's a little clip you can pull, put in the button bar. No, I don't do well when it comes to gambling. I don't win. So, I think I've played, I guess only one. I thought there might be more than one table game, but one time I sat down, played a little bit of blackjack. I think I lost like $10 and was like, $10! I could have used that $10. I'm glad that if I lose $1, I get frustrated. I never have to worry about losing a bunch of money gambling because I'm not going to put down big bets. $10 is like infuriating to lose for me. All right, let's see what else we got here for hobbies full of jerks. Youth travel baseball. Okay, not the kids. The parents, I would imagine. I mean, we've all seen the videos of unruly parents at youth sporting events. South Park had the great episode with Randy Marsh fighting the Bat Dad. Yeah, it's unfortunate because, you got these kids who they just want to get out, play some sports, have a good time, and the parents just ruin it for them. Try to not be an embarrassing parent, all right? And it can be tough because, the nature of it is you're going to embarrass your kids simply by being the parent at some point. But there are ways you can ensure that you're not just really, really terrible in ways that are easily predictable, like being the parent at the youth sporting event who starts fighting with the ref. Sit down, shut up, and let the game happen. All right, this person says they run an exotic animal rescue and reptile keeping. The bigger the animal, the worse it seems to get. Ball python people can be weird, and there's always some kind of gecko drama, but the Retic guy? What's a Retic? R-E-T-I-C. Monitor keepers, legitimately toxic. I mean, monitor lizards are genuinely frightening to me. I'm wondering if they did a typo there. Oh, a reticulated python. Okay. It's a little bit of slang. Ugh, giant snakes, to each their own, but that would be red flag to me. because I'm a wuss. Those animals, I think they're neat looking. They're impressive, but in my house, no way. They give me the creeps. Prankers of TikTok. Well, yeah, that's obviously full of, jerks. A lot of people don't understand. A prank's supposed to make people laugh. All right? High-end makeup communities? Is that full of toxic people? I have to ask my lady about that one. I don't know anything about makeup. I know that you put it on your face. All right? But I didn't know that high-end makeup would even be a hobby or have a community. Huh. The world of music. Okay, well, that's a huge world. All right, there's a lot of different types of musicians out there. I mean, you've got great people and then you have terrible people. I've met both sides working in the music business. All right. Pickleball. I mean, come on, let the old people have fun. Oh, sorry, Lieutenant Crane. You're not that old. He invited me to play pickleball with him one time. I had to get home because of my required early bedtime. But, I don't know. I just also didn't want to be an embarrassment. I guarantee I would suck at pickleball. All right. Anyway, we're rolling. We're up. We're going to get through this post-time change day. And, oh, yeah. At 8 a.m., we're announcing a show. I forgot all about that. So I'll have to check and see if Peach has scheduled the posts to go up on our socials. But announcing a show, and we'll be giving away some tickets. Who's it going to be? Make sure you're listening at 8 o'clock. Hey, just a heads up in case you forgot, we've got some good stuff going on this week to help out the community. Fundraising for Families is back with the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Idaho. This is kicking off tomorrow. 3 days of donations. You're going to do your part, right? Every dollar helps. They're looking to raise $70,000 to support families with ill or injured children through services provided by the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Idaho. If you aren't familiar with the Ronald McDonald Family Room at EIRMC, it's a facility where families who have children that are currently hospitalized can do things like, get a hot meal, do some laundry, take a nap, shower, relax in a home-like environment. Last year, they served more than 600 families with over 4,400 visits, all at no cost to them. So the support from the community each year makes this possible, and we're always very stoked to team up and make this happen. Things are beginning tomorrow. Fundraising for Families. 3 days, looking to raise $70,000, and we got generous sponsors that are going to be doing some donation matching. So every buck is like donating a couple. So, yeah, starting tomorrow, Fundraising for Families. You'll be able to find the link on our website, riverbendmediagroup.com, as well as in all of our apps, the K-Bear, Cannonball, and Alt apps. So do what you can to help out. Like I said, every dollar helps. A tiny donation is better than no donation. So hope you can help us out tomorrow. Looking forward to that. All right. Oh, that feels so early. We'll get through today, people. We'll make it. Stupid time change. Meh. Welcome to the show. It's the Viktor Wilt program. Happy Monday. Hope you're surviving the post-time change morning today. Ugh. I'm doing better than expected, at least so far. I mean, it is Monday, so you never know how that's going to go, but I guess at least the time change is over with. When I woke up this morning, I totally thought it was Sunday for about 2 seconds, till I realized, no, my alarm is waking me up. That would not happen on a Sunday. No! All right. Got my complaints out of my system. There we go. Just make sure to get a nap in if you can, because the time change, it can do some physical damage to people. Not getting enough rest, throwing them all off kilter. It's a bad time. It's bad for people. All right, what do we got going on here? I don't know what's up with my Reddit feed. It's really trying to get me to take a vacation to Las Vegas. I don't know why. Is it because my phone listens to me and I talk about Vegas often enough, I guess? So I've constantly got, these threads popping up. Hey, where's the best place to stay? What's something fun to do? Or is that just all that people talk about in the Las Vegas subreddit? Look at that. I don't even follow the Las Vegas subreddit. I'm surprised that I don't. Should I join it? All right, I'll join it. No, I've got this thread here where people are looking for fun things to do with kids. I'll tell you this. In my opinion, Vegas is a lousy place to bring kids on vacation. That's just my opinion. Unless you really want to expose them to the realities of the world. Brought my girls to Vegas when they were really little, and it was upsetting to them. I mean, just because you're exposed to basically, every part of society on the Strip. You could have people that are whacked out of their mind on drugs. You could have, rowdy people in their 20s getting hammered and just running rampant, running amok on the streets. They didn't particularly enjoy Vegas when they were little. But, I don't know, maybe we should have taken them to the Tournament of Kings, where you watch the jousting show and eat with your hands. I don't know, it never screamed to me as something I needed to do, but, thinking back, even like Circus, where I stayed with my homie Nick last time I went to Vegas. I don't know, they did have the SpongeBob ride and the amusement park, but I don't know, just something about Vegas in general. It just seems like a terrible, terrible place to bring children. I don't know. And if I was going to pick a vacation destination for kids, just get yourself a credit card, take out a home equity loan, and take your kids to Disneyland, okay? That's what they're going to prefer. Something that is 100% kid-centric. Take them to Lagoon in Salt Lake. Save Vegas for when they're a little bit older, or for, your time away from the kids. You drop them off at grandma's house, and then you go check out whatever you want to do, while you're there. Anyway, even looking through this list of things for people to do with their families, all I'm seeing here is there's mini golf at a few places. How about, take them to, I don't know. There's nothing for them to do. Yeah, don't take your kids to Vegas. Yeah, save that for yourself. We're going to get through this day somehow. I don't want to go drink more caffeine, but I do need some motivation. Severely lacking on the motivation front this morning, as I would suspect we all are. Yeah, it's brutal. A little bit brutal, that time change. Anyway, I hope your weekend went pretty well. Mine was fairly uneventful. What did I do this weekend? Watched a bunch of TV, played a decent amount of Red Dead, had to rage quit Red Dead last night. That doesn't happen too often for me. I was hunting, and I've been doing a lot of hunting and gathering in Red Dead. Super relaxing activity, all right? Just wandering through the woods. It's very chill, very, very zen. Until you've, gathered a whole bunch of 3-star pelts, and then you're on your way to the trapper so you can sell them and craft some neat clothes. And you roll through, that area of the map with the Murphy Brood. Yeah, I always forget that's the most dangerous area of the map. And nothing more aggravating than getting yourself killed in that game when you've got a pile of difficult-to-acquire pelts on your horse, like, cougar pelt, or black bear. These animals that just don't show up very often. So I rage quit Red Dead. and started watching Goodfellas, and then went to bed. That was my Sunday evening. Oh, and then I woke up and thought it was Sunday yet again. Lame. So lame. Well, thankfully, I've got a 3-day weekend coming up this coming weekend, and you might be asking, why are you telling us about all this crap? We don't care. Well, maybe you're a Poppy fan. I'm going to do an interview with Poppy next Sunday, and I'll post that on all of our, socials and websites. So, my 3-day weekend, if you're a Poppy fan, may be of benefit to you. That's the point of the entire break. Yay! No, actually, I'm kind of hanging on to some of the other stories I have for later on the show. I got plenty to talk about. Trust me. I even just got emailed from Josh over at Classy about a story that I'm waiting a bit. But if you think I'm going to avoid talking about Tool and Cue the Outrage, come on now. Just because I'm, a big fan of that band doesn't mean I'm not willing to throw them under the bus for something that would have severely aggravated me if I was at this big event they held over the weekend. We'll get into that later. It's the Viktor Wilt Show. Hope you're surviving the day after the time change. Springing forward, awful. We'll get through it together. We will endure. All right. What do we got floating around on the internet today? Well, this might help you out. What is a dead giveaway that someone finds you attractive? Now, I guess this is pretty much for dudes, because guys are stupid, all right? Hey, I'm one of you. I'm dumb, okay? I'm a complete moron at times. More lines for you to be able to clip from the show there, Peaches. There you go. Now, guys, I think, take completely wrong cues at times, or they're just overly confident. They're just dumb. I don't know if these things are actually dead giveaways that someone finds you attractive, because I've only read through a couple of these, but I figured I'd throw it out there. So, if you've been considering asking somebody out or something, maybe you could know if it's even a good idea. All right? Let's take a look here. Dead giveaways that someone finds you attractive. When they randomly show up where you are. Yeah, I guess that could be a sign that they find you attractive. Also could be a sign that they're a stalker. All right? Man, it's so weird. Every time that I head down to Salt Lake City, I just happen to bump into so-and-so from back home. They're following you on a 3-hour drive. Run! Okay. Hopefully they're not stalking you. Okay, laughing a little too hard at your bad jokes. That's just nice. That could indicate that they find you attractive, or they're just a nice person. Okay? Some people have a tough time with, setting boundaries, or suddenly become very interested in your extremely niche hobby. All right. Yeah, expressing interest in your interests, that could be a sign that someone finds you attractive, but it could also mean they're, actually into those things. All right, what do we have here? Light accidental touches or finding excuses to touch you, like brushing your arm or shoulder, can be a sign of attraction. That also just sounds like an invasion of space. I don't know how people deal with dating situations. I'm super shy, so, luckily, when it came to, getting in my current relationship, it just kind of happened, I'd say. It was very natural the way it played out. I didn't have to, if any time you're like, gotta make a move, that's kind of nerve-wracking, but let's see here. They focus more on you and a group of people. Okay. I mean, so far on here, we're not getting any blatant, all right, that's obvious that someone's attracted to you. Guys are so dumb. I think you just need to be told. You ladies, you just got to tell them. Hey, you want to go out or something? A lot of guys lack confidence, okay? And in this day and age, you don't want to make somebody uncomfortable. So, yeah, ladies, you're just going to have to make the moves. I think that's the way this is going to have to go here. Let's see, they go out of their way to talk to you or be around you. Okay, that's a decent sign. If they're not responding to you, maybe take the hint. All right. Anyway, I should probably not just be keeping the stories I have ready for the show under embargo till later on the show, but I just didn't want to dive into them now. Yes, I am going to talk about Tool fans being furious with the band, and we'll talk about The Last of Us Part 2, the new series, or new season, I should say, dropping in about a month, and they're getting the preemptive strike going on Outrage. So stupid. Plenty coming up on the show is all I got to say. And also, in less than an hour, at 8 o'clock, we're going to announce a show that's going down at the Mountain America Center. Yeah, arena show. And if we're announcing it, that means it's a rock show, right? Uh-huh. Whoa. Am I giving out too many hints? Sorry, I figure you would assume it's going to be a rock show if we're teasing the announcement, okay? So, that's in about an hour. I'll be back in a minute. Just gonna work on that motivation for the day. Here we go. Again, one quick reminder that coming up at 8 o'clock, going to announce big rock show coming to the Mountain America Center. Ooh, arena rock show. Who's it gonna be? Well, just want to do the preemptive. Don't complain if it's not something you don't personally like. Because this happens with every single show we announce in the area. You got some people excited and other people who go, man, that's not for me. It's kind of like our playlist, Not every song's for everybody, okay? Not every show that comes to the area is going to be one that's for everybody. I mean, that's how it works for me. There are some shows that come to town that I'm like, well, yeah! And other ones I'm like, oh, all right. So, I'm not trying to, downplay things by any means. All right? I just know how you folks are. I know that there will be the inevitable, I don't like this or that. Just try to be happy we're getting arena shows, okay? All right? If they're big enough to book at the arena, they're big bands. So, wait for the next one if one particular show ain't to your liking. I'm just not in the mood for people's complaints today. I didn't look at Facebook basically all weekend, and it was great. I mean, I'm sure I'll get a bit of a talking to from Jade because, unfortunately, due to how frustrating social media has become, I'm not posting as much because I'm just not on there because I'm working on my mental health. You can make yourself crazy by continuing to look at social media, or you can just not look at it and do something more fun. Like, play a little bit of Super Meat Boy. Though just be aware, Super Meat Boy could be considered a very offensive video game. Okay, was it Friday night? I don't know if it was Friday or Saturday night, because my memory's just terrible. I think it was Saturday night. I decided to finally, for the first time ever, go live on the Viktor Wilt TikTok page. So I was streaming live from home, playing a little bit of Super Meat Boy, and all of a sudden in the middle of my stream, I get this message that pops up that's like, your stream has been restricted for inappropriate content. And I'm sitting there going, why? Because I approach my online streaming from home as this, the same way I do the radio show, okay? I don't swear or anything because, I don't want Jade tuning in going, look how you present yourself to the community, using that naughty language, even though I know no one would actually care. But still, I did a perfectly tame stream just playing Super Meat Boy. And I don't know if it's because your character is a little chunk of meat and, if you die in the game, it explodes into a, meat and blood explosion. But I could not imagine, based on some of the things I've seen online, why on earth Super Meat Boy would be considered offensive. Because it wasn't anything I said. I ended up having to delete the stream because they muted the whole audio. I was going to leave it up for everybody to check out, but who wants to watch an hour of just me sitting there with no audio? Unless you really love Super Meat Boy on the world's smallest screen. So, just beware. If you're going to do some live streaming, apparently you just need to use as much profanity as possible and play, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto. You know, if you're keeping it tame and playing Super Meat Boy, going to restrict your account. So now I'm sure the algorithm hates my account. They're like, look at this vile, offensive human being. Let's make sure to show his posts to no one. Oh, the internet's so stupid. Poppy on K-Bear. Catch her live in Salt Lake City on Sunday. I'll be at the show. Ben from The Advocate's going to be at the show. And I'm even bringing along Joey the Hulk Lobato. Yeah, we got quite the crew heading down for that one. So if you're going to be there, come say hello. I should be fairly easy to spot. You know what I look like, right? If you see me, say hi. Very excited to get out of town with my homies and enjoy what should be a pretty awesome show this weekend. Yeah, you got to do something to make up for having to wake up today at what felt like 4 a.m. Oh, I know. I complained enough about daylight saving time last week. We all get it. We don't need to hear more about it. No, come on, I want to let you know. I'm on your side on this. Today sucks. The time change sucks. We need to just stop the madness, all right? Stop the insanity. Can this be the last time? It was funny, I posted about this last week. I actually had to block somebody on Facebook because they got so hostile toward me with my post about daylight saving time. I thought it was a very reasonable post, okay? All I said was, if our local politicians can pass law after law like they've been doing for the past 6 weeks, and based on the feedback I see on social media, most of the things they're doing, nobody wants anyway. If they can do all of that, if they can put forth bills that say, the governor can veto ballot initiatives because we're not educated, or that, they can pass bills that say we can never vote on certain things. If they can do all of that, they could definitely make daylight saving time permanent. Or do away with it altogether. Make regular time permanent. I don't care which one, all right? It doesn't have much bearing on me because no matter what, I go to work when it's dark out, okay? Either or. They've made it very clear they have the ability to do whatever they want. So why do they year after year say, yeah, this time we're going to make daylight saving time permanent? They said it again this year. They just said it. Yeah, we're going to make it permanent. Believe it when I see it. Daylight saving time is very dangerous, all right? In the days following, springing forward, higher incidence of car accidents, strokes, and heart attacks. There are more fatal overdoses. People with migraines are at greater risk of getting injured at work. One study even found that IVF patients were more likely to experience a spontaneous pregnancy loss. Yeah, this messes people up. I think that they know this messes us up. I know. I'm being a bit of a naysayer here. Usually I'm an optimist. Not today. I think they like throwing us off kilter. Yeah, the government. They know it messes with us. Otherwise, there's no reason for daylight saving time. Zero. Other than I don't want my kids to have to go to school when it's dark outside. Get over it. People in Alaska put up with a month straight where the sun doesn't come out. Their kids go to school just fine. Okay? Get over it. Okay. Daylight saving time rant done. But yeah, get a hold of your local politicians. I thought about calling them on the show, but I didn't know. We got a new GM. I don't want to make him mad right out of the gate. Just start blowing up the phones. Hey! Listen, so-and-so. Get rid of the time change. It would be fun. Would be fun to start calling them. I doubt they're picking up phones. I mean, they aren't even going out and doing like the town hall meetings anymore. So highly doubtful that they're going to pick up the phone. But you can leave them a message. All right. We'll be back in a few with Freak News and whatever else. I got a lot of stuff for the show today. I've just been kind of sitting on it for a while. We'll talk about Tool. We'll talk about The Last of Us 2. A lot of outrage going on. So I'm not the only one frustrated this morning. Getting ready for some Freak News here. What up, Peaches?
I knew you'd be affected by the time change. Here you go.
All right. What do we got here? Alani Pink Slush. Thanks, Peaches.
You're welcome.
Yes, I did manage to get myself to bed at a somewhat reasonable time, but, certainly annoyed and irritable on the day of the time change. So.
Yeah, I did not go to bed till like 1 a.m.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I was too worried about getting an email from Jade saying I missed something this morning and all of that. And
oh, you got to just, shake it off on the weekend. I'm sure I'm going to get a talking to today.
Why?
I'll tell you off air. I mean, I just made a mistake over the weekend. About a month ago, we got an email about something to urgent, don't do blank. And as I was trying to play catch up on a bunch of mail over the weekend, I did blank.
Oh, no.
And then all of a sudden it popped in my head like, was there an email about that? Maybe I should check my email. And then, oof, oh no. So, we'll see how mad I made upper level management, above people in this building.
Yeah, our new GM looks like the type of guy that you do not want to see mad. He seems like the most easygoing dude. And
I know. And so over the weekend, I'm like, oh, great. I did one of the stupidest things imaginable. I'm just hoping it's not a big deal. All right. Let's get into some freak news here, Peaches.
All right.
Let's see. How close do your parents live to Simi Valley? I don't know my California geography that well.
It's pretty far.
Pretty far. Okay. Well, I know a while back you'd taken a vacation there and how tight money can get. Did you steal a bunch of safes and ATMs and dump them off in the mountains, Peaches?
No, my family's smarter than that.
Oh, okay. You'd keep them in the basement or in the workshop.
We wouldn't steal safes and ATMs. We'd go for something that you could easily take.
Easily take. All right. You got any tips for theft for listeners, Peaches?
Yeah. Don't go into Target and put stuff down your pants and walk out of there. They got scanners.
That is a good way to get yourself in trouble. It amazes me anymore that people do get away with shoplifting with, just the sheer number of cameras and technology everywhere. I mean, we see the stories pop up all the time. So-and-so tried to walk out with a cart full of electronics and had a friend, spill a bunch of crap as a distraction, fail.
Hey, that guy's oddly shaped. What's under his shirt? Oh, it's a PS5.
Yeah, precisely. Let's see here. So that happened. I don't know if these were empty safes and ATMs, but somebody just dumped like piles of them off into the mountains there in the Simi Valley. Kind of crazy.
I looked it up. Simi Valley is 2 hours away from my family.
2 hours away? Okay. So, yeah, that's a good way to keep people from thinking it might be you, right? Mm-hmm. Dump the stuff really far from home.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, see?
All right. I'm sure you've seen the articles making the rounds about Tool from over the weekend.
Yeah, I sent you one yesterday.
Yeah. So, I've been sitting on this one all morning. Tool made their fans furious over the weekend. We talked about Tool's Tool in the Sand Festival when it was announced. What was it, a few grand to go attend this 2-day concert in, where was it? I don't know. Some kind of a tropical paradise, Dominican Republic.
The guy hosting the entire thing was like a yoga hippie. Did you see that? There was a advertisement I kept getting where it was like, hey, you want to come see Tool live on the sand for a tranquil experience? And it was this dude with long gray hair and everything.
Well, before we get into this Tool story, I'm watching the countdown here.
So, yep, me too.
I told everybody we'd announce a concert right at 8 a.m. coming to the Mountain America Center. K-Bear 101 presents Go For It Peaches.
We got Seether, Nonpoint, and P.O.D. What's the date on that again? May 18th?
Let's see here. That would be May 18th. Coming up quick, actually.
Yeah.
We're about 2 months out. May 18th at the Mountain America Center. The Surface Seems So Far tour?
That's the name of their last album that just came out last year.
Yes, so Seether, P.O.D, and Nonpoint. Tickets go on sale Friday, but you can listen for your chance to get some tickets right here on K-Bear and win them before they even go on sale. So we're doing a daily keyword, Peaches?
A daily keyword. I came up with 5 of them over the weekend.
Okay. And are we giving those out generally at 7 a.m.? When are we giving them out?
The times to call in?
The keyword.
The keyword? Yes.
Where are we giving it out?
Around 7 a.m. is when we'll give it
And
out.
I'll just say it on air. So you got to tune in to find out what the keyword is.
Yes.
We're not posting it on social.
No.
Okay.
No, we're not posting it on social. It might get sent to people's phones who have the K-Bear 101 app.
And then we're going to ask you to call and you have to tell us what the keyword is.
Yes.
Okay, what's today's keyword?
Let me look this up, actually.
All right. While Peaches looks up the keyword, I'll again reiterate that Seether, P.O.D, and Nonpoint are coming to the Mountain America Center on Sunday, May 18th, and we're hooking up tickets before you can buy them. Listen for the daily keyword. Tune into my show at about 7 o'clock, 7:05-ish every morning. I'll give you the keyword, and then when we tell you to call, be the first person. So first person who can call and tell the keyword, you win tickets to the show before they even go on sale.
The keyword today is remedy.
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 Like the Seether song.
Yeah.
Okay. So at some point today, between 6 a.m. and 7 p.m., we're going to be like, all right, call now. First person who can tell us the keyword, you win tickets to Seether, P.O.D, and Nonpoint at the Mountain America Center. Keywords again, remedy for today. So at some point, I don't know. Could be me. Could be Peaches. Could be both of us.
Could be Lou. No, I'm kidding. It can't be.
It could be.
Actually, it could be.
It could be Lou.
What if he told people to call in on his nationally syndicated program?
We could have Lou throw the call out. I don't know. It's kind of late on Eastern time when his show kicks off. But anyway, that's the show. And since we've already barreled into the 8 o'clock hour, we'll get into the Tool story after we play one more song. But we're going to go make some social posts about the show. All right, let's talk about my favorite band, Tool, and how they infuriated fans over the weekend. I mean, this is a show I would not have attended simply because of the price. We looked at it and it was like, whoa.
What if you were able to go for free, though? Would you have enjoyed it, though?
Dude.
To go to one of those islands on the beach?
Okay, I mean, if I was rich, I would go. You know, if I had all the money in the world, sure.
The funniest part about that article that I sent you was that they used AI to recreate Maynard singing into the microphone.
Why?
I don't know. I guess they didn't have put pictures of the footage because, Tool doesn't allow cell phones at their show. So they had a guy who looked like Steve from Blue's Clues now with the glasses and the bald head singing into the microphone.
That's bizarre. Yeah, there's plenty. All you got to do is give attribution to the image. Hey, photo by blank. And you could,
it said there on the bottom of the article, parentheses, photo by AI.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Yeah, I mean, there are thousands of photos of Maynard out there. So anyway, Tool had this big Tool in the Sand festival over the weekend, and it looked pretty awesome. I mean, he had tons of great bands like Primus, Mastodon, Eagles of Death Metal, Coheed and Cambria. And the first night sounds like it went awesome. Now, tickets to this thing were thousands of dollars. I don't even remember the exact amount, but thousands of dollars. And it was advertised as 2 unique sets from Tool, which, as a Tool fan, to do 2 nights in a row of Tool with 2 different sets, that sounds killer to me.
You know what I think it is? I think Maynard and the rest of the band wanted a nice island vacation, so they're like, yeah, we'll do a performance. And then they're like, you know what, we'll just go out there and do whatever we want to.
And that's what they did. Now, tickets to this event, you couldn't buy tickets for just one day. You had to buy the full experience. So every single person at this show was going to be there for I guess it was 3 nights. Sorry, Tool played 2 nights. But everyone who attended was there for every night of the show. So Tool comes out. First night, they play an awesome set. Everybody was stoked. They played, let's see, where did my set list go here? First night, Stinkfist, Fear Inoculum, Rosetta Stone, Numa, Zombie, Schism, The Grudge, Flood, Invincible, Vicarious. As a Tool fan, that's an awesome set list. I'd be stoked if that was a set list I got at a show. So then they come out on night 2 and immediately open the show with Fear Inoculum, a song they played the night before. So the fans are kind of like, what's going on? I thought we were getting 2 unique sets, because that's what the advertisement said. I saw people sharing the ticket package links where it said 2 unique sets. So after that, they played Anima. They're like, okay, all right, well, maybe they just needed to warm up. So they came out with Fear Inoculum. Nope, right after that, 3 songs in a row from the night before. Rosetta Stone, Numa, and Zombie in the same order as the night before. And the fans booed Tool. I mean, I have never seen video of Tool fans booing the band.
Did someone capture it on video?
Oh, yeah.
I might need to watch that on YouTube.
I would play the clip, but there was also, in addition to booing, other choice language. And this was from people right at the front of the stage.
Oh.
So the band heard it. The band heard it for sure. And then they played, a few songs they didn't play the night before. And I'm seeing fans try to defend this like, hey, we still got half of the second set. They still played 5 songs. They only played 4 songs they played the night before. But here's the thing with Tool, Peaches. Tool songs are really long. They played 45 minutes of material they played the night before. It wouldn't be the same as if you went and saw, Green Day, and they played 4 songs from the night before. All right, 12 minutes. Okay, big deal. It was, half of the set, because Tool sets are usually like 9 songs, because their songs are so long. I would be furious if I was a Tool fan at that show, paying that kind of money. It's crazy to see Tool getting booed, but they deserve it. I mean, I am a huge Tool fan, but they definitely do things that make me angry, like the ridiculously priced merch. They're the worst. They sell every type of merch imaginable, and for prices that, if you buy it off their website, it's just as bad as if you buy it at a concert. Most bands, you can buy the merch a little bit cheaper off their website at least. Not Tool. They do seem kind of money hungry. So that's pretty messed up. I'm so glad I didn't take out a loan on my house to go to this show.
Do you think they're down bad, or do you think they just want the most they can get?
What I think happened here is I think Tool, wasn't heavily involved in setting up this show. I think that they were probably unaware that the crowd was there for the whole weekend. I bet they thought it was something where you could buy, like most festivals, you can buy a ticket to a single day. I bet the band's so just out of the setup process for this, because Maynard came out on stage and was like, how many of you were here last night? And it was everybody. So either the band was trolling the crowd or they were just unaware. And I'm guessing they were unaware, because it seems like they wouldn't want to make their fans mad who spent that kind of money. I would hope you're better to your fans than that. That's pretty bad. So they did change the set list up after people started booing, but I guess it goes to show, if something seems too good to be true sometimes, maybe save the thousands of dollars.
Don't you get a sweet island vacation with that?
You do. So that's what another way fans were trying to justify it was like, hey man, we got a free concert with our vacation. Like, no. The ticket price was definitely included. You could go on a week-long vacation with your family for the price. I remember the ticket price on those. It was crazy. I've gone on vacation before, and I've gone on vacation for a week to LA or, Vegas.
Where was this, the Maldives or the Bahamas?
It was in the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
So, yeah, I ain't going to try to justify anything from Tool's end on this. It's pretty messed up, to give fans 45 minutes. And those are all great songs. I'd be happy to hear. I saw Tool basically back to back in Boise and Idaho Falls, and it was essentially the same set list. But you kind of know that if you're going to a show on the same tour. You're basically going to get the same thing. They didn't promise a different show every night on tour. So anyway, good luck to Tool crawling your way out of the abyss on this one. I think you're going to have a tough time getting fans on your side. Ugh. The worst Monday of the year. Post-time change. Yuck. Well, hey, there seem to be people optimistic in my Facebook comments that it's going to be the last time we have to deal with this. Sure. All right, let's talk about other things that people are outraged about aside from having to wake up at what feels like an hour earlier than usual today. Let's talk about The Last of Us Part 2. Divisive since release. And this is just sad. One of the actors in the upcoming season is preparing in advance for the chaos and outrage that they're expecting to have unleashed upon her by the viewers of the show. Do people not understand that actors play characters and that the characters are not real? No, because people are stupid. When this game was released, this particular character, the actor who played her in the video game, received death threats. Death threats for what happens with her character in a video game. An animated character. That is how stupid some fans of this series are. All right. Now, I've talked about Last of Us Part 2 outrage a few times over the years because, again, like I said, it was controversial at the time of release. And, I mean, I've read the complaints. I don't agree with them whatsoever. I understand when a story doesn't just feed you sunshine and rainbows. Some people aren't very good at handling that, but the story is, as far as video games go, certainly one of the best told stories in the history of the video game entertainment medium. An actor in a TV show should not have to preemptively get ready for outrage. You would think are they predicting that people who haven't played the game are going to behave in the same way as those who had a bunch of problems with the video game when it was released are going to? I don't know. I would think, or I'd like to think, the average TV viewer is not as unhinged as some gamers, but I've read the comments on other TV shows when the story didn't go how people wanted it to, and boy, this everything revolves around me mentality. It's so annoying and so stupid. So anyway, The Last of Us Season 2 going to be popping back up on Max in about a month. HBO Max, April 13th. And I got to say, we should have zero patience for anybody who behaves in a horrible way toward an actor in a show because of what happens in the show, okay? If you want to lash out at celebrities, do it when they're behaving like pieces of garbage in real life, okay? This is entertainment, people. So crazy. Ugh. Are you sure you want the role? I guess. Well, you know, people are going to be really mean to you. What? Yeah, people are crazy. People are crazy. I look forward to seeing all the backlash. My main concern is that they're going to change the show and change the story because of that stupid backlash that happened when the game was released. It's a masterpiece of a story. You know, just let it be. If you don't like a story, you can move along with your life, okay? All right. Anyway, I'm stoked. April 13th. Can't wait for The Last of Us Season 2. I highly doubt that any of our listeners would engage in such behavior because you're all, very reasonable people. You're the best. If you're listening to this show, I highly doubt you're going to throw on a chicken onesie, take a bunch of drugs, go out wandering the streets and screaming at people. Where was this? It doesn't really say. Well, anyway, we got a man here in a chicken suit being arrested for all of the activities I described. He was just wandering around a neighborhood in a chicken onesie. Pupils very big, screaming and yelling at passing vehicles. I didn't watch the 10-minute body cam video because I ain't got 10 times to watch a guy, just loaded chicken man here. But I just figured I'd let you know that cops don't like that, okay? I don't know what kind of a charge he ended up getting. Disturbing the peace at bare minimum. But you're also going to make national news for this. You got to think about this before your stupid decisions end up coming back to haunt you. You don't want every media source around the country talking about you on a Monday, okay? And that's what's going on with Chicken Man here, okay? He does not look like he's having a very good time. Some of the comments are kind of funny, though. Oh, I see why he, was freaking out. The EMT looks a lot like Colonel Sanders. All right, the guy has a white beard. Doesn't mean he looks like Colonel Sanders, okay? You got to have the hair to match. That guy's got a shaved head. I don't know, maybe if Colonel Sanders was getting with the times, going for a modern 2025 look, shave the head, go for the bald with a beard. But not yet. Not as far as I've seen on any of the KFC signs that you encounter driving down the roadway. Anyway, good luck to Chicken Man. Have a feeling he's going to wake up in jail and not be very happy. Especially when he sees the YouTube numbers on his dash cam video. Or I guess it's body cam. Dude, come on. It's too early, Jade. Why are you
No,
here?
it's not.
It's too early for you to just show up and give me a big pile of work.
Why do you think I made the weekend shorter? Just so I could yell at you some more and make you come back to work earlier.
Oh, and I had an aggravating enough weekend.
Yep, that's all my choice that I implemented 100 years ago.
I knew someone that I knew was to blame. Well, I didn't attach you to this email over the weekend. I did something really dumb work-related.
Well,
and
that's
I
just
think
a given. Because you're just dumb.
Well, generally, I'm not like Peaches. I try to check out from work on the weekend, Just to tune out and pay no attention to work. But I decided to be productive this weekend. So I got all this paperwork together to deal with my taxes. That worked out better than last year. So that was nice. This year, instead of getting a big tax bill that I have to work out a payment plan with the worst interest rates of all time to pay off the IRS, this year, they're just going to take my entire tax refund and apply it to the debt I owe them. So at least I get to square away that debt, right? Yay! I love tax time.
Yep.
So
They get to take all the time they want when it comes to them owing us money, but when you owe them money.
well, hey, Elon
Hand it
Musk's
over right
going to
now.
give us each $5,000, Jade. I saw it in the news.
I could use $5,000.
Dude, I will take $5,000 in a second, but my faith in us getting $5,000 a piece, it's pretty low. It's pretty low. You know how I feel about government promises. They only seem to follow through on the ones that nobody wants. So I dealt with that paperwork, and I was like, oh, look at this big stack of mail that I've just been putting off dealing with for a while. One of those pieces of mail was something we got an email here at work about a month ago. Mm-hmm. And so I remembered reading this email, but I was like, oh, yeah, there was an email about, certain cards. I bet it was...
Please tell me you went and maxed it out.
Well, I didn't utilize any type of spending with this, but the email was very clear. Like, you have to take the time to go into your email and make the font larger. Mm-hmm. Urgent! Don't activate this! And I remembered seeing an email about something,
I even told you
something
about
like that. Yeah. But it had been a month. It'd been a month, and I'm like, oh, look at all this stuff that I didn't get done. I better hurry up and activate this. So after I got all done and got the app and everything and set it up and everything's working, I'm like,
Way to tick.
maybe I should double check my email and see what they actually said about this. And So I had to email Rhonda over the weekend and be like, I'm dumb.
Did you put it in big bold letters that you have to zoom in to see?
I should have. But I was just like, oh, this is embarrassing and I'm kind of stupid. But you know how you told us very specifically to not do blank? Well, that's what I just did. So thankfully, I guess it was no big deal. But I was stressing about it all weekend. Like, we just got a new GM last week, and I can't follow instructions. But,
weird.
Yeah, it all
That's
worked
why we're
out.
having a meeting at 10:30.
Hey, at
Because
least
you can't follow instructions.
I know how to use that particular. What do you call it? It's not software necessarily, but I know how to use it. These slackers around here, I could use that time to. Well, actually, I don't know today because apparently the day after the time change, everything's broken. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do today.
I got plenty for you.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that, Jade. I'm very busy. Very, very busy. All right. I have a tip for you. I know we've got a few people in the community who drive Cybertrucks. Shout out again to the person who brought one by, a year or so ago. Let me take it for a spin. That was pretty cool. Well, anyway, if you drive a Cybertruck, you should probably not put it in a parade. Especially a parade that's packed with drunk people, like Mardi Gras. I'm sitting here watching a video of this Cybertruck just get pelted with garbage and rocks and all kinds of things. And they're stuck in the parade, so they can't just leave. If you've been living under a rock for the last, 6 weeks, there are a lot of people out there right now who are not happy with Elon Musk. So, again, I don't think it's reasonable whatsoever to take out your frustrations with Elon Musk by vandalizing the property of others, okay? People who are driving Cybertrucks are not assisting in implementing policy right now. They're just driving a vehicle. But if you do drive one, you just might want to be aware that the risk of somebody vandalizing your vehicle has certainly increased in the last 6 weeks. And I'm sorry, but it should be a no-brainer. When it comes to places you should not take your Cybertruck, that a parade where you can't escape might be one of the worst places you could go. I know these vehicles are hard to damage. That was one of the selling points. So I think the people inside of the vehicle are fine. But when people start chucking stuff at your vehicle, sometimes they throw gross things, okay? And, there's just certain things that I don't want to see hit the windshield of my vehicle. So maybe avoid the parades. Especially, again, parades that are packed with drunk people who may not be making the most rational decisions when they see something annoying pass them by while they're all hammered up. Man. I mean, come on, the driver wasn't really surprised, right? Maybe. I see a lot of people surprised by a lot of things right now that I just shake my head and go, all right, I guess you just don't pay attention. But anyway, good luck. You might want to, if you're driving a Tesla vehicle, do like many drivers are doing and swap out the emblem on the back, put a nice Ford logo, something like that. People are irrational. Again, I don't think there is any excuse to be vandalizing people's property because you don't like, the person who made said property. But people are irrational. So be careful out there. Thank you again for tuning in to the Viktor Wilt Show. This program is a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.